Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Wegmans Meals to Go.
Our Sunday sunshine has been glorious, but some slightly less savory weather could be waiting on us this week.
An update on the fatal stabbing that claimed one life last week in downtown Rochester. And retail jobs in a slump, what it could mean for local stores.
From the team you can trust, this is News 8 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this web edition of News 8 at 6. A man accused in a deadly knife attack in downtown Rochester will be in court tomorrow. Police have identified the suspect as 34-year-old Black Jewels. They say Jewels stabbed a man on Bragdon Place Friday night. That man, 34-year-old David Oquendo, died. Officers say while they were investigating that crime scene, Jewels attacked another man on nearby St. Paul Street. That victim is expected to live. Jewels is charged with murder and assault, and he will be in court tomorrow morning at 9:30. Rochester police are asking for help finding a missing person. 61-year-old Santa Mulero was last seen on Lake Avenue yesterday. Police don't think she's the victim of a crime, but her family has not been able to contact her. Mulero is about 5 feet tall and was wearing a multicolored shirt with black shorts. She recently dyed her hair red. Anyone with information is asked to call 911. The Red Cross is helping 2 people with housing after fire damaged their home on Turpin Street today. That fire was contained to a bedroom on the 2nd floor. No one was home at the time, and Rochester firefighters had to force their way in. Other parts of the house did sustain smoke and water damage. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. A new report from the Department of Labor shows that while unemployment numbers are at an all-time low, retail jobs are falling. That's not stopping big box chains in Rochester from hiring for the holidays, and locally owned stores are gearing up as well. But as Tia Collins reports, the jobs picture could look a lot different months from now.
It's no different in Rochester than it is nationwide. More and more people are buying online.
The Labor Department reports 11,000 jobs were lost in the month of September for retail trade employment. Within the industry, 14,000 jobs were lost in clothing and accessory stores. Since the last peak in January of 2017, over 197,000 retail jobs have been eliminated. Even with the numbers for retail jobs falling, local businesses like Arc Image here on Monroe Ave say their customer base has always kept them busy.
I think that when they say retail, right, they're talking about the big stores, I don't know, like Target or Walmart. We're more like a unique family store, and a lot more people in Rochester, they're really supporting family-owned business.
With holiday shopping in the upcoming months, the slowdown in job openings could change how businesses hire for the season.
There's no question that demand for retail help, while it will be higher in the 4th quarter than it is in other quarters, it's going to be lower than it's been most years.
Owners at Arc Image say they will prepare like any other year.
Usually we have more help. As people come to shop here for Christmas, it's like a tradition for them. So I look forward a busy Christmas.
And according to Tia, the Labor Department says in the last year, retail jobs in the Rochester area have only grown by 0.7%. No one injured early this morning when a motorist crashed into the porch of a home on Hawley Street in Rochester. This incident happened shortly after 12 a.m. Police say the 17-year-old driver and her 15-year-old passenger were not injured, but as you can see, the damage to the porch was extensive. The driver was given a ticket and released. Now to national news. The Town Center Mall at Boca Raton was in lockdown for reports of a shooting today. Boca Raton police on scene right now. They are currently conducting an active search of the area, police say. All persons in the mall are asked to shelter in place while police and SWAT teams conduct a search. You're looking at cell phone video taken at the scene. Police say there's no active shooter at this time, but fire rescue is en route, and there is one person reportedly suffering from a gunshot wound. Again, this is happening right now in Boca Raton, Florida. As President Donald Trump orders most of the remaining U.S. forces out of northern Syria, his critics say he's making a mistake, one that could leave the United States vulnerable. The criticism has been bipartisan. Today, New York Senator Chuck Schumer condemned the president's decision as reckless and a dereliction of duty. He accused the president of undoing years of diplomatic work and said he hopes to introduce a resolution that will immediately reverse the president's decision.
We've worked so hard and so long to prevent it from happening again. We have sacrificed in blood and dollars to make it not happen. And in one fell swoop, the president undoes too much of what has been accomplished.
In New York City, protesters held a pro-impeachment walk today, marching from Times Square to Union Square in Manhattan. This protest came as the impeachment inquiry continues to unfold in the House of Representatives. A march was also held in Washington, D.C. Across the country, more than 330,000 Americans were expected to walk in support of Down syndrome awareness this weekend, and that included some 600 people in Rochester. This was the 23rd annual Flower City Down Syndrome Network Buddy Walk. It was held at RIT. The event serves as a fundraiser to support the many programs that benefit people with Down syndrome and their families.
But it's really today about just celebrating our children and adults and families with Down syndrome, learning more about what it is and just learning more about each individual with Down syndrome and what they have to offer.
Last year, some $14 million was raised nationwide, and it all goes to the Down Syndrome Network. Okay, we have sound with Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel now. He joins us now at the forecast. Eric, what a spectacular day.
This was a great way to close out the weekend. You know, we snuck in a little sunshine late Saturday, too, so both days, at least to some extent, have been largely nice around here. This is your live sky eye, our picture from the Genesee Lighthouse, looking northward over Lake Ontario. Lots of clearing, just a few clouds out there, and it is limited. Still a beautiful evening. Temperatures are starting to come down a little bit now. Not bad, though. Still at 65 at this hour. Winds out of the south at 7 miles an hour. Humidity and dew points way down. We just don't have the moisture for rainfall yet. That might change as we go into tomorrow. Temps across the rest of the area. Rochester actually leading the pack of all places. Dansville, Penn Yan, a little bit cooler down in the low 60s there. We've got some 50s showing up in parts of the southern tier from Olean toward Wellsville. Elmira's at 60, Ithaca coming in at 59. Your official high today in Rochester, 67 degrees, and on a weekend no less, when averages are about ready now to jump under that 60-degree mark in about 2 weeks. Your average highs are going to end up being into the 50s, and it obviously becomes increasingly difficult to get days like this. Temps overnight tonight as we wake up early on our Monday morning. I think a lot of us will end up staying in the 40s. You're at about 46 in Irondequoit. Rochester's 45. Southwest parts of Monroe County typically get a little bit cooler than everybody else from Ogden toward Riga into Chili. Temps there about 41. Satellite and radar, both of those are quiet. Now here's the big picture, and this has just been a massive area of low pressure that has been so close to us, but just far enough away that it has not had any influence on it at all. You got that big counterclockwise spin around this thing, and even though we have been spared over the course of the last 36 hours, we're finally going to be clipped by this guy as we go into the day tomorrow, and that makes sense. I mean, it's enormous. We'll flank the clouds here. We'll go all the way from the left side to the right side. This thing is almost 1,000 miles from left to right of cold air, clouds, and showers, and we're going to get just a little bit of a taste of that as we go into our Monday. Here's Futurecast. It's overnight tonight, couple more clouds starting to come back in. Early tomorrow morning, little fingers of light raindrops starting to push in. This is not widespread rain at all. I don't think this is going to be any kind of a huge impact to your Monday morning commute or for kids at the bus stop. But just know there is a slight chance of showers throughout the course of our day on Monday. Noticeably cooler air. We're not going to get out of the lower or even middle 50s. I think that would be about it. And then some really chilly air starts to move in Monday night and Tuesday morning. That could drop the numbers down into the 30s across parts of the area. You see our frost freeze map. I think mainly south and southeast of Rochester, we start worrying about some frost by Tuesday morning. A couple of your more typical cold spots could also drop below freezing. Then we get in on the bigger storm system. system. Wednesday and Thursday, here's a quick snapshot of what this looks like. Dynamic area of low pressure will pass just to the north of Rochester. That's going to drive a frontal boundary through. Some heavy rain. I think there will be some thunderstorms involved there too. And some of those storms could produce some gusty winds throughout the day on Wednesday. That's going to be a higher impact day. Thursday, we get in on the backside of this. The rain will linger, but by that point, it is wraparound lake effect rain. And you know, when we start using the words lake effect, you're not warm. Thursday, high temperatures will be a battle to even get to 50 degrees on what will be a cool, cloudy, and kind of miserably raw Thursday. That does get better by the end of the week. On Friday, partly cloudy conditions return. We will watch what happens into the weekend and into the early part of next week. You heard me mention last week, last year, Rochester's last day in the fall season that they ended up getting to 70 or better was October 11th. I think we're going to beat that this time around. Maureen, we got a 69-degree high on Sunday, 73 on Monday. When you always wonder when you see those this late in the year, is that going to be the last one?
Yeah, well, let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Just
every now and then sprinkle one in there.
Well, I love this time of the year. When it's mild, it's just like a bonus. So.
I know, a little perk there.
All right, thanks, Sarah.
Sure.
Thank you for watching us on the web this evening. A reminder, primetime program is going to be delayed tonight because of NFL football, but do watch us for the late news at 11 over on News 8. Have a good evening.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and our apps for both news and weather.